Tucker Carlson comes out and says a few words on, I think it was the Steve Bannon, and he had a couple different tweets, Rob. I don't know if you have the tweets. I don't know if you have the videos. Whichever ones you want to prepare. I'm just going to go right into the story here of what happened with Trump and Tucker. Is this the clip of him and Steve Bannon? So here's the issue with Israel, Iran. There's a camp that says, attack, let's take out Iran. You know, Scott Jennings from CNN comes out and says that, you know, argues U.S. should bomb key Iranian nuclear sites. And a lot of people are on the same page with him.
On the PBD podcast, the host dives into the explosive rift between Donald Trump and Tucker Carlson over the looming threat of war with Iran. While Trump denies plans for conflict, voices like Scott Jennings demand decisive action against Iran's nuclear sites. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu escalates tensions with chilling threats. The debate exposes deep divides within the Republican ranks. Let's break this down.
But there's a complete different side. Jennings, one of the most effective defenders of President Trump on cable news, wrote from Jerusalem, Israel, on Sunday that U.S. should bomb Iran nuclear facilities at Fordo. My thoughts from Jerusalem: Israel is on the brink of remaking the Middle East and ending the biggest sponsor of radical Islam terrorism in the world. Trump's strategic part in this move was brilliant. Trump has stated correctly that there can be no peace if Iran obtains a nuclear weapon. This is a tenet of America's first foreign policy. The Iranian terror regime has never been weaker. Thank you, Israel. This is what he says. The chance to end them as a destabilizing force cannot be dismissed. In my opinion, Trump would be justified in taking out Fordo nuclear enrichment facility. It would be a righteous decision, and if he does it, no question in my mind that he would deserve the Nobel Prize.
Here's Scott Jennings pushing for military strikes, painting war as a noble, even prize-winning act, revealing how hawkish narratives mask devastating consequences as heroic moves.
This is a once-in-a-generation chance to make the world safer and defend Western civilization, bomb Fordo, destroy the Iranian octopus, restore deterrence, win the Nobel, America first hashtag. That's Scott Jennings. And then here is Tucker Carlson on Steve Bannon talking about the same issue. Very different opinion. Go for it, Rob.
I actually really love Trump. I think he's a deeply humane, kind person. And I am saying this because I'm really afraid that my country's going to be further weakened by this. I think we're going to see the end of American empire, obviously. Other nations would like to see that, and this is a perfect way to scuttle the USS America on the shoals of Iran.
Tucker Carlson warns that this conflict could unravel America's global power and Trump's presidency, underscoring the grave risks behind the hawkish push.
But it's also going to end, I believe, Trump's presidency and effectively end it. And so that's why I'm saying this.
What do you mean by that? That's coming from you. That's
you get. Look, I knew Bush. I knew George W. Bush. We had, family connections to Bush. I knew Bush personally. I still see Bush sometimes, and of course, he hates me, and he does because I criticized him on Iraq, and that war is the sum total, from a historical perspective, of his administration. But I knew him, and he had all kinds of plans for the things that he wanted to do. But once domestically, right, to improve the country.
Right.
And you may agree or disagree, but like in his mind, he wasn't just about the invasion of Iraq in March of 2000.
Oh, no. He was going to redo Social Security.
100%,
he had all that.
100%.
All types of. He was going to take care of the entitlements issue.
And he really thought it was going to work.
Yep.
And you could laugh at that or whatever, but the point is, the second you get enmeshed in a real war, not a fake, let's go bomb the villagers and declare success, though we don't even have a good track record. Like, why are the Houthis still there?
No,
I mean, there's a whole other question,
right,
which is how prepared is the U.S. military for a real conflict? And the answer is totally unprepared. Scary unprepared.
Okay, so that's that. They go.
But anyway,
do you have the tweet, Rob, of what Tucker said? Do you have the tweet on Mark Levin, all these other guys?
I can find it.
So anyway, so while that's happening, somebody asked President Trump about Tucker Carlson. I don't know if you saw this one. Did you see what he said? Live. Somebody asked President Trump. Rob, I sent you the clip if you have that. Here's when he's asked out of nowhere, hey, about Tucker Carlson. Watch what he says. Go for it.
Very good job. What was your response to Tucker Carlson criticizing you, saying that you were complicit in the war?
I don't know what Tucker Carlson is saying. Let him go get a television network and say it so that people listen.
And quickly, have you spoken to...
Well, damn.
Vinny, thoughts on this entire exchange?
On this exchange?
I mean, not just this exchange. You have Scott Jennings, one camp that's saying attack, take him out. You got one camp saying no, don't do it. Where are you at with it?
Just in a nutshell, Pat. I mean, listen, you got to tip your hat to Bibi Netanyahu just from the jump. Every single time this guy has asked for a war and wanted us to get involved, it has worked.
The reality check, Netanyahu's repeated war demands have consistently drawn America into conflicts, highlighting geopolitical manipulation as the driving force behind escalating tensions.
Libya, Afghanistan, Iraq, every time. If Trump is warning and we're sending airplanes and we're sending all this stuff, that guy wants it, that guy gets it, okay? And this whole situation, Pat, let's just be honest. Tucker has not shifted. Besides being America first, we don't want any new wars. This is what we were talking about. Yes. This is what we were promised. I don't want another war, period. And I don't know how does it flip? And that's my question back to you guys. How do you go from no to peace treaty to this to absolutely no war, and then all of a sudden it flips? It's just a complete 180. And it's like, I don't understand it. He was pro peace, and then Mike Waltz got caught in those rooms with the Israeli signal chat. Trump got pissed off at Bibi. He's like, what the hell are you doing? He goes overseas for those meetings. He doesn't even meet with Bibi. So there's beef. There was beef there. And then all of a sudden, now they have nuclear weapons. And if you saw Tulsi Gabbard in March, she said, the United States intelligence community continues to assess that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon, and Supreme Leader Khomeini has not authorized a nuclear weapon program that he suspended in 2003. Okay, by the way, and then Trump says she has no idea what she's talking about. So you mean to tell me the director of national intelligence isn't intelligent on this topic? And it's like, here's my thing, Pat. I've been getting a lot of messages from people from Iran and everything like that. I just hate the games that are being played, okay, especially with Bibi Netanyahu. If you want regime change, which I know he does, just say it. Stop with the nonsense about Iran trying to assassinate Donald Trump and trying to drag us into it, okay? You don't need to do all that shit. Just say you want it. There's 90 million people there. I got a message on Minek this morning, Pat. I got to show you this. Just really fast. This is a guy on Minek that's Iranian. And you know what his attitude is? He's like, listen, you guys are on. You guys are getting pulled into another war. He goes, the Iranian people need change, but not through war, through their own will, through protests. That's how real, lasting change happens. Not other countries going in and saying, this is what you need. Okay? And in regard to the nuclear stuff, Pat, this is my assessment is that every country has, because I know everybody's attitude is, well, why do they have nuclear facilities and all that stuff? Every country has nuclear energy. That's not the issue. It's transparency. That's why we have the IAEA. It's the International Atomic Energy Agency. Their job is to verify that nobody's building bombs, okay? Iran signed it. They go there. They check on their shit. Israel doesn't sign it. Israel's not involved in it. And as everybody always says, and Adam, you've said it before, Israel doesn't have nuclear weapons. Yes, they do. And you know why? Nobody can go in there and see what they're doing. I don't like the attitude. I don't like the flip-flop. I don't want, because everybody's going to say, Pat, well, we need to take them out. They're building a bomb. He's been saying it since 2012. I don't believe it. That's my point of view.
Tom,
that's
thoughts?
It. So there's a lot in there to unpack. I mean, we're seeing Netanyahu, we're seeing Scott Jennings, just seeing things. So let me start with Scott Jennings really, really quick. Scott Jennings is not out there like a Nikki Haley war hawk. Let's go fight. Let's just go dive in. What Jennings said, he used the word Trump can't miss. Let's not miss the opportunity to conclusively end the nuclear threat from Iran, and let's not miss the opportunity to remake the Middle East. If Trump did something supportive, he would be justified, is what Jennings said, and I think he should get the Peace Prize. That is a hell of a lot different from the war hawks that are out there saying, you know, there's just sheer bloodlust. Let's go, 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 go. So I think the media is trying to make Jennings sound a little bit more war hawkish than he was there, especially because he talks about a quick action and then ending with the Peace Prize. Now, to Netanyahu, yeah, I mean, there haven't been, we can talk about inspectors throughout the Middle East, but, you know, there have not been inspectors that have successfully, you know, gone through Israel and, by the way, Arab countries who have their motives and they're trying to start trouble of their own, you know, have said, you know, hey, if you're going to inspect us, you got to inspect everybody. And so that's how I feel about that. But right now, I also think Netanyahu's being pretty shrewd because they say there's 60% of the people in Iran want regime change. We've seen the videos of people cheering. And so when Netanyahu goes out and says, let's make Iran great again, I don't have a problem with you. I have a problem with your government. He's really trying to stoke the protests and stoke the opposition party to go do do its thing. But, he's no saint, but that's what's going on, in my view.
Adam.
Bibi Netanyahu will probably go down as the Winston Churchill of Israel. So you can tell a lot about regime, not how they deal with external forces, on how they treat their own people. I would argue that the Ayatollah and the regime in Iran treat their people worse than any regime in the Middle East, possibly the world. We've seen all this free Palestine movement. Cool, I get it. You know what movement I'm all about? All about free Iran. I'm all about free Iran. Iran has been hijacked by this theocratic, thug-like Islamic regime since 1979. I also believe in symbolism. They've been in power 46 years to be exact. Trump is president number 45 and 47, is he not? Smack dab in the middle of that is 46. I believe that Trump, when he says Iran cannot and will not obtain a nuclear weapon, I believe he knows what he's talking about. I believe that Trump believes in what he's saying. I believe he believes in his intelligence. For all the people out there that don't think Iran is working on a nuclear weapon, what the hell do you think they've been doing? What the hell do you think they've been negotiating? What the hell do you think they've been working on for a decade? That you think they're just having fun, peaceful conversations over nothing? They're developing a nuclear weapon, and Netanyahu's looking at them and he's saying, this is the line in the sand, and we're not going to deal with it.
But Adam, we said the same thing in Afghanistan and Iraq, and they didn't have anything. And we went to war for 20 years.
Yeah, were we doing nuclear negotiations with Afghanistan?
Well, of course, we send inspectors all the time.
We send inspectors. They
So
didn't find anything.
I want to
They're just going
understand
in
one
there.
basic thing. Do you think Iran is not developing a nuclear weapon? Is that what you're saying?
Adam, here's the thing.
Let Ricky ask that. Do you think they're not developing a nuclear weapon?
It's not about what we think. We can't start a war over a hunch.
There's
We
already
can't
a
go
war
into
going on.
But we can't get involved in a war.
America's
over a
not
hunch.
involved. I totally understand that.
I understand, but when we're moving our fleet down there and we're getting our army ready for it, our military ready for it. We're showing signs of aggression. That's the way I'm looking at it. On top of that, when we voted Trump in, he said as of day one we were going to stop the war with Russia and Ukraine. That didn't happen. And then as of day one that we were going to have that the Palestine-Israel things solved. That didn't happen. On the complete opposite, now here we are 100-something days in. Now we're getting ready to fund another war, help them with another war. That's not what we signed up for.
I totally understand and I totally appreciate why the American people are completely over funding foreign wars. I totally understand that. I'm with you. I don't want any American troops on the ground. But people have to understand there's nuance to this conversation. We don't have to have any American troops on the ground. If we want to live in reality, let's live in reality. Have American troops been in Gaza? 0. Have American troops taken out Hezbollah? 0. Have American troops been in Syria? Why is that any different in Iran? I hear you loud and clear. No American troops on the ground. No American lives lost. I'm with you. Israel has the ability to fight their own battles. Let's give a little credit to where credit due. They've taken out every single terrorist regime around them, and now they're about to knock out blow Iran. And America hasn't to do anything. So meanwhile, we've given Ukraine more money in the last 2 years than we've given Israel in their entire lifetime.
We don't have to physically be their support. As a matter of fact, the people in France, just all of them at the Bay, just said, "Hey, we're not going to be loading these weapons for them." In France, they're doing that right now.
Well, French is a bunch of gay frogs. What do we worry about that?
But Adam, but here's the thing: you're saying the intelligence. If the director of national intelligence, because you were saying, if Trump says it's there now. Just in March, they said he's not doing anything that you guys are claiming that he's doing. 0. He's not going to try. He's not trying to make a bomb. Why the flip? What? So from March, April, May, June. Now all of a sudden, in 3 months, what they've been saying. This is the clip right here, Pat. They play and then this is what he says about. Is this the both videos, Rob?
Yes.
Okay.
The IC continues to assess that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon, and Supreme Leader Khamenei has not authorized the nuclear weapons program that he suspended in 2003. The IC continues to monitor closely if Tehran decides to reauthorize its nuclear weapons program.
Okay, this is March, guys, mind you. In March, Adam, they are not making a bomb. I trust the intelligence coming from the director of national intelligence. I'm just...
This segment uncovers a fierce clash within conservative circles. Hawkish calls to strike Iran's nuclear sites versus urgent warnings about the risks of war and imperial decline. Netanyahu's role as a relentless instigator is laid bare, while Trump tries to distance himself amid Republican infighting. The debate isn't just about foreign policy, it's about the future of American leadership and peace. Drop your take below. Who's right, hawk or peacemaker?